This is going to be our main speed circuit. So you're going to go through this 3 to 5 times based on how you feel. There's going to be core movements. I'm going to give you 3 different core movements, maybe a 4th one for you to go through in between them. You want to do like 2 sets of each core. So it's going to be set up so you can get some conditioning with it, kind of like a HIIT style conditioning circuit. But you still want to take like a minute and a half is going to give you a pretty good recovery for your next set. So take that minute and a half, feel how it goes round 1 or round 2. If it doesn't feel like it's tough, decrease the amount of break time is probably enough for you to make this more of an intense circuit for you. If you chop that break down to a minute or 45 seconds in between each movement, you'll probably get winded pretty quick, make it feel a lot harder. But again, the idea is how fast can you move? How high can you get off the ground if it's explosive? How well can you follow the coaching point or the intent of the movement? That's what you're trying to do. Each circuit's gonna be at most 15 seconds. So again, if you go 15 seconds and it wasn't tough, you have a few options. You can try to go faster. You can try to go harder, so push harder, jump harder, whatever. You can take shorter breaks in between each one, or you can go through and do a couple more sets, all right? So there's a few ways you can adjust the intensity. So first movement's gonna be a lateral hop. I've got kind of like a line set up so you can set up your stations first. You do wanna set them up ahead of time because you're gonna go through each one kind of in order. So we're gonna start with some lateral hops. We just have kind of like a band setup. You can literally draw on the sidewalk. You can put some tape down. You just need something to give you a visual aid over a band. So I'll demonstrate that in a second. And then we have plyo push-ups. This is gonna be a really basic plyo push-up. So the idea is to get a little bit more reps so you can get a little stronger upper body and then create a little bit of that tissue rigidity and some of that explosiveness that we're looking for. Then we're gonna get into a split stance kind of collision movement. So what we're working on is creating collision into the ground. All right, so it's not the main end-all be-all of performance, but the more contact you can create into the ground, the higher potential that we have to come off the ground. So super helpful when we're trying to weight transfer, like running, hitting, or throwing. All right, and then we have, like I said, our core movements. So first one's gonna be this lateral hop. The first movement we have, you can label it kind of footwork, but it's the initial part of our like lower body speed movements, okay? So the idea is to get as many contacts as you can in that amount of time. If you're going as fast as you can, so if you actually get to a point where you're able to like get everything out, you can't do these for more than like 8, 9, 10 seconds. So the pace I'm gonna do is a very awesome coach's demonstration pace, but I could go faster, you know I could. I'm gonna go lateral, both feet are gonna land at the same time. You're gonna notice I am in a good position. I'm using my hands to help me over this little band that we have. All right, so, and again, the idea, I am creating a collision on this one, but this is me getting off the ground. So you're gonna notice this one's how quick can I get off the ground, and that split stance movement we have is how hard can I hit the ground, all right? So it's kind of contrasting ideas here, all right? So I'm gonna start gradually building up each round. If you know how fast you were, you can probably get right to it. So I'm lateral hop, pick up speed as I go, and as I feel comfortable, trying to stay tight to the line. All right, next piece is our plyo push-up. I use plyo push-ups all the way up to my pro athletes, all the way down to my beginner athletes. Something that I really feel like is a great way for you to explore your athleticism, build strength at the same time, you get core strength out of it. The idea in this one is we're starting in a straight arm position, right? So that straight arm position really gives us a good indicator of how much strength we can build through the rest of our body. So the more straight arm strength we have, the more capacity for strength we can build. We have about 6-inch height here. So this could be a textbook or a couple textbooks if you don't have plates, but anything, you might have to be a little creative here. We are trying to get about 6 inches off the ground. If this ends up being too hard, make it a little shorter, a little too easy, make it a little bit higher. Don't go too much higher. We're looking for speed on this one. So we're gonna start straight arm strength in the middle. I'm gonna quickly move my hands out to the plate. So I have to actually elevate my chest to get off the ground a little bit. I'm gonna land into a deep push-up. At the bottom of that deep push-up, I'm gonna accelerate out, so I give me a little bit of that power curve. It's a great way for us to feel how to like manipulate our weight, how to build up momentum. And then I'm gonna drive back into the ground hard. So you're gonna see me actually kind of punch into the ground to create that collision, all right? So I'm here. Last part of this explosive circuit before we get into our core is going to be a hip switch movement. It's very similar to a squat jump, but you're focused on the pressure down into the ground. So you'll be switching. It's going to be left, right, left, right, left, right. So it's going to be doubles. So we call them doubles or 1-2s. So you go left to right, and then you're going to go 15 seconds, and you'll switch the other leg. So I'm starting here. I'm into my hip coil. I squat down. I have my weight into my toes. I'm going to drive off the ground and switch, and then right back to the other leg. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Now my hands are actually driving into the ground. So it's a switch, 1, 2. All right. So I'm trying to, it's going to end up being an arm swing, but I want to emphasize the collision into the ground. So I'm going to use my hands to actually drive into the ground. So it's a 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. And then we're going to start on the right. So you go 15 seconds. If you can go the whole 15 seconds, then try to go faster, shorter breaks, whatever. We take my minute and a half. Because I'm winded. Once I'm ready, switch to my right. Same thing, hip coil. I'm gonna get a little bit of a squat. So this is my athletic position. The way I usually tell people to look for it is when if I let my hands kind of hang down under my shoulders, my fingertips are right around my knee. That's a pretty good position for my athletic split stance position. So again, it's gonna be switches. 1, 2, 1, 2. You're trying to create pressure with both legs, all right? So again, 15 seconds, about a minute in between. For this last part of the circuit, so this is the end of your speed circuit, as kind of an active recovery. You've got core. We've got 3 core movements that we're gonna perform. First one's gonna be a alternating single leg V sit-up, so I'll show you how to do that. We've got side bridge for reps. These are gonna be like speed and explosive, working on your lateral line, your obliques, your low back. And then the last piece is gonna be alternating hip bridge. So I'll show you how to do that one as well. So first one is our single leg alternating V sit-up. So V sit-up, we're gonna go gymnast style. Your hands are gonna be kind of just hovering across the ground. You're gonna shoot them forward in front of the hips. So the idea is to use the stretch reflex of this hip flexor group and your core. So as I drive through my shoulders, when I drive my hands forward, it gives me this good flex position. So I'm rolling myself into my glute tuck or into my core hold position. As I drive that, I want to meet in the middle to my leg. All right? So I should feel my leg help pull my chest up, my chest help pull my leg up. Let's switch to the other side. So it's every rep, I'm just alternating, trying to keep my legs straight if I can, and shooting my arms forward to help. Actually, it doesn't help, it makes it harder. But the idea is it pulls the shoulders through and keeps me flexed. If I run out of steam, I can add my hands overhead to help pull me up. All right, so we're gonna go for a maximum set on that. All right, so like 30 seconds. Shoot for like 12 each side, maybe 30 reps total. That's the lateral line. So this movement you're gonna perform on around like 2 or 3 of your circuit. So these core movements go in between your explosive circuit rounds, right? Again, I'm looking for like 2 sets of each of these core movements at least. So 2 sets of each side of this side bridge. So this one's gonna be for our lateral line. We wanna go through the pinky toe knuckle, all the way up through the rib cage and into our lats. It's good back exercise. So we're gonna stack the feet. I'm gonna move my hips through. So I'm straight from my ankles all the way through my ear. I'm gonna stack my hands. If this one seems easy, you can take your hand behind the head or elevate straight up towards the ceiling. I'm gonna demonstrate with my hand stacked. What I wanna do here is I'm gonna drive my hips up as high as I can to get good separation from the ground. At the top, I'm gonna feel this side stretch, this side crunch. At the bottom, it's gonna switch directions. I'm gonna feel the bottom side stretch and the top side crunch. I'm gonna stop right before my hips hit the ground and return back up to the top. All right, so we're looking for up to 30 seconds, both sides. And remember, we're trying to do each of these core movements twice each. Last core movement is gonna be an alternating hip bridge. So the idea here is to drive collision or drive weight into the ground while switching the opposite leg into the air using that hip or that knee cross reflex. So glute tuck, I'm gonna have my hands pressing into the ground so my back is working. I'm gonna drive through my hip. I've got my glute tuck position on already, and I'm reaching towards the ceiling with my opposite leg. What I'm gonna do is drive this leg down first. With this leg driving down, my reflex is gonna cause this leg to snap up. What I want to do is land inside edge of my toe, try to get
I'm not trying to push necessarily into my toes. I'm gonna let the midfoot hit the ground. I'm gonna switch again. And again, the idea is to snap the top leg down first and let the opposite leg pull. So I'm trying to teach on the reflex of this foot snapping towards the ground, this foot to reflex to pull off the ground. Very important reflex or movement pattern that we're gonna use all the time in running, and all movement patterns as well. That's gonna be like 15 each side. Again, if you keep in mind like 30 seconds, these are pretty standard core timing. All right, Howell Baseball, thank you so much for tuning in. Tell your teammates, tell your friends. We're trying to get everyone moving this off season so you guys can get ready for your summer season and for next off season. If you guys need anything extra in the next couple days, we'll have more videos available, so kind of wait for that. If you do have weights, let us know, and we'll try to get you some workouts available, some circuits available for weighted exercises, maybe customized for the equipment that you have available. I'm super excited to work through this process with you, where I try to get you some super cool stuff to do at home and really build a foundation for next year. I want us to show everybody what Howell's about. This is the time for us to really show what our character is and really show what kind of work we can get done. All right, guys, enjoy yourselves, and I will see you next time.